A lot of people get freaked out by the idea of insignificance, but I find something oddly peaceful and reassuring. The most relatable unpopular opinions from the outsiders of the internet. Dinosaur fossils that are found in different countries should be returned to their countries of origin and not kept in foreign museums. The issue with paleontology, like archaeology, is that most dinosaur discoveries are made in different countries and then shipped off for study without being returned to their country of origin. There's no issue with studying them and with people enjoying them, but the issue lies when they are returned. Many cases exist of Western scientists coming to countries in South America, Africa, and Asia, stripping them of their own dinosaurs, and shipping them off to be exhibited in their own museums without notifying the authorities in those countries. Dead memes are still funny. I could never wrap my head around the idea that just because someone declared a meme to be dead that it's automatically just not funny. Like, people would be laughing at something 2 hours ago, then all of a sudden someone online says the meme is dead and it's just no longer funny? I've had some people tell me, OMG dude, the meme is dead, it's not funny. And I'm like, well, I still laugh at it and some of my friends still find it funny. You're just not gonna laugh because someone on Twitter said it's dead? I will still laugh at and quote stuff from 2010 if I find it funny. I actually find it pathetic when people get worked up over someone using an old meme. Are you really gonna let people online dictate what makes you laugh or not? Stand your own ground. The idea that most people don't care about me, and that I'll one day be completely forgotten is actually very comforting to me. I know a lot of people get freaked out by the idea of insignificance, but I find something oddly peaceful and reassuring about the idea that I have this tiny little slice of history just carved neatly out for myself to share with all the people I love. So what if I'm going to eventually be irrelevant, or for that matter, already am? The idea of people scrutinizing my life long after I'm gone is very odd to me. I'd rather just have a good time while I'm here and try to have as positive an impact on the people I care about as I can. Licking your fingers to handle paperwork is the most disgusting habit that isn't called out. It has always been so weird to me. Like, why? Does it really help that significantly that you just absolutely have to lick your finger to accomplish the goal of getting your other papers? It would always gross me out as a kid when my teachers would do that before handing out our assignments and then a bunch of other kids would copy. I haven't seen as many people do it since the outbreak of COVID-19, and I've even had a few professors mention how they miss doing it but feel weird if they did now because of everything. Nah, you just shouldn't have been doing it ever. People only hate Twilight because it's popular to do so. It's not actually that bad. Now, don't get me wrong, Twilight has many shortcomings. But there were good aspects to this book, and what is more, its significance goes beyond the simple story. It literally ushered in a new turn in YA literature, followed by a mass of similar vibe books and TV shows like Vampire Diaries. I'm aware the books came before Twilight, but let's face it, they weren't popular. Teen Wolf, and Divergent series. But what irks me is people who had never read it or seen the films hating it with absolute conviction just because they'd heard others hate it. Twilight is intended for teen audiences, and when it came out, it damn well got the attention of the target group, but even Stephanie Meyer let it die with dignity, unlike some other series we know. People are just being petty at this point. It should be socially acceptable and normal to be naked in your home garden. It's part of what it means to be human, and it is not weird. Apparently, being naked at home is considered weird for many people. You should be allowed to be naked in your home, even if people can see into your house from the street. And it should be an enforceable law to prohibit people from staring at you while you are naked at home. You see a naked person in their home? Okay, now go on with your life and just ignore it. Additionally, being in your own garden naked should be legal, as long as you don't do anything inappropriate out there for everyone to see. But just being naked, completely without any inappropriate actions, is apparently something you should not do. If my neighbors wouldn't consider me weird for it, I'd be naked outside most of the time. In my opinion, it's just part of being human, which apparently is an unpopular opinion. Even if trophy hunting were cool, using a gun would be the least impressive way to kill an animal. Like, wow. Congrats on choosing the easiest possible way to kill something. How badass of you to put yourself in a no-lose scenario. What's next? You want to brag about how you won a foot race against some third graders. I'm sure you were trembling while you shot that lion from 50 yards away. It was honestly a toss-up between the gorilla and the sniper rifle, right? I mean, really, where's the challenge? Go in there with a knife or wrestle the damn thing. Posing next to dead animals with your giant gun in your hand only shows me how much of a wimp you are. Somebody replied, it's a general misconception between hunters and non-hunters. Ask a normal hunter when the last time they went trophy hunting and they will sit down and start telling you how they watched this 14-point buck all season, multiple seasons sometimes, waiting for the perfect moment. Hunters in the normal hunting community fancy themselves trophy hunters, when they only take big bucks or mount-worthy game. What normal people call trophy hunting, the hunting community calls exotic big game. That's the confusion here. Most veteran hunters of North American big game consider themselves trophy hunters, but not in the way city folks would. There are a few ranchers that raise exotic game that you can pay to go hunt, and that is super unimpressive. It's like 100 acres of flat land with ibex chilling waiting to be shot. Most hunters don't consider that real hunting. Now let's talk about exotic trophy hunting. It will do more good for the conservation of those animals than any of us in this thread will ever do. The tags issued are usually to kill a specific animal that is old, violent or diseased. They take your upwards of 100k to kill an animal that the rangers were going to kill anyway for the chance to go out and hunt a big game animal. Last I saw, elephants were north of 500,000. And I tell you what, you are brave to shoot an elephant with anything. I don't think camping is very fun. Why would people willingly do this? It's worse than just being at home. I feel as though it's just stupid. Why would I want to go somewhere where I'm basically covered in bugs and it's honestly just filthy? Anything I can see would be just as enjoyable from either going out in the day and staying at a hotel or just a picture. In my opinion, camping is a 3/10 experience and I would not recommend it. Sparkling water is not appetizing. Where I live, drinking water with carbonation isn't common, so I was very surprised to discover that sparkling water is the first choice of bottled water in Europe. I had already tried sparkling water in my country and of course it was awful. While being in Europe, I thought it was a good idea giving sparkling water a second chance. Maybe it would taste better. Well, I was completely wrong. It had the same awful taste as the one at home. At least tap water was drinkable and was amazing, way better than sparkling water and of course normal bottled water. The way people, and media, still treat Princess Diana as some sort of saint or martyr when she was actually kind of a hypocrite, homewrecker, and manipulator really annoys me. First of all, this is not a hate post. Diana did a lot of good in the world, especially in regard to marginalized groups, and for that she deserves praise. However, this is coming from a woman and former Diana admirer who has read a couple of biographies about her. By the way, the fact that she empathized how much of a victim she was by Charles' infidelity, when she herself had affairs with several married men, Barry Manicky, Oliver Hoare, the latter whom she then went on to call to his home when he wanted to end the relationship, and allegedly other married men, really irks me. Not to mention the allegation, from inside sources that she was actually the first to cheat on Charles in their marriage, with Manicky. And then she goes on TV with a full woe is me attitude. And then get upset when the royal family kicked her out and took her title. That's some nerve. Not to mention how all this affected her children, particularly William, who was devastated and humiliated. Or the time he was upset over a topless photograph she had arranged to be taken of her by paparazzi. Remember, everyone in his school would know about this. Diana intentionally portrayed herself as the victim in media, and her fans still wants or chooses to fall for it and worship her as if she died for their sins or something. Again, she did a lot of good in the world, but on the other, I don't get why so many want to ignore the fact that she was a spoiled, vindictive, immature, selfish woman in some ways. And the fact that so many people, again, grown-up adults, still has such a simplified, black and white Charles and Camilla equals evil, Diana equals victim angel perfect view of things and refuse to see it any other way really annoys me. Unless it's a government job, companies should not be allowed to do random drug tests. Companies should not be allowed to randomly drug test you. Weed has the smallest overall effect, yet stays in your system the longest. You shouldn't be smoking and operating a forklift immediately after, but if you did it the night before, Benadryl would have a larger effect on you. Just because you do whatever, if it doesn't get in the way of your job, and you do it outside of work, then it shouldn't matter. It would be ridiculous to expect employees to never drink at all, yet it has a significant effect on your abilities, so why do we care about other stuff? Somebody replied, a large subset of society, especially on the internet, has become so much of an echo chamber of idealistic expectations of behavior that any deviation isn't merely a faux pas, it's an unforgivable sin. Look at any subreddit on dating and read what people say about the ick, or love bombing, not saying these aren't legitimate issues in some cases. People are just searching for any reason to disqualify others in theory. In real life though, many of these people are either lonely or blind to the actual red flags they disregard in their relationships. Animals should be given proper names, not a pun or a phrase. The amount of times I've heard people give stupid names for pets like Sir Barks a Lot, Meowsy, Duck Norris, Amy Swinehouse, 50 Cent, and so on. Pets deserve proper sounding names, not some kind of noise, pun or phrase. Pets are important, they're part of our households, so should be treated with some level of respect. Not a demeaning, completely embarrassing name that you think is so hilarious. It should be something tangible that is either an actual name, noun or an adjective. Fantasy-oriented names are also fine. Somebody replied, years ago, my brother and his wife lived on one side of a duplex and me and a buddy lived on the other side. She had a Pomeranian named Sasha that she never played with or spent any time with. Every time I was hanging out with them I would give the pup crazy attention and play with her and call her crusty butt. One morning I was leaving for work and the sister-in-law was outside in a robe trying to get the dog to come to her, calling Sasha. Sasha. Pup was ignoring her and running through leaves and having a ball. As SIL got frustrated, I heard her call crusty butt, and of course Pup ran right to her. It was a good day. I see no place for celebrities in our lives anymore. Does anyone else feel the same way about celebrities? I'm so done with them. I don't care about their mundane lives. They're so out of touch with regular people and it's just sad and embarrassing. They've destroyed some generations, cough cough Kardashians. I would love to see so many people unfollow them on social media just to see how it would affect them. I know some celebrities have talents, actors, musicians etc., but it's the useless ones that get me. Get off my socials, quit telling me what body shape or size is in, what I should wear and the products I need to be more attractive, even though we both know they got a lot of medical help to look the way they do. No product will do that. Most people do not understand how to make friends. It's painfully obvious, every time I see advice on friendships, how warped y'all's perspective is. Things like, if your friend ever hit you with a "we going to the movie and you can come if you want," that means they don't value your friendship. No man, that's an invite. Most advice on the internet would tell you that those friends are trash and don't even like you. Get over yourself. I really believe that stuff is driven by narcissism. You really believe you need to be the center of your friends' minds at all times? You demand that they consider you first for everything or else they're not your friend? Maybe you need to do a bit more work to make them enjoy your company? Maybe you need to offer something more and stop expecting your friends to be your besties at the drop of a hat while you offer nothing. I hear things like "if he wanted to he would," when it comes to relationships, which is already bad enough, but now people bring those same expectations on their friends. Do y'all really expect your friends to be all over you, begging for your attention all day? Get over yourself. I can go 6 months not speaking to my best friend and when we link up with each other it's like no time at all has passed. Learn how to have friends. What did you think of these opinions? Let me know in the comments below. If you like my videos, be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with my daily uploads. Click the recommended box to see another video just like this one.